Hey, Michael, so talk to us about AI, artificial intelligence, and ChatGPT. How can we utilize this, or what advice or suggestions can you give us that will help our workflow, efficiency, or front office tasks that we have within our practice?
Yeah, awesome question. Thanks, Michael. So I would say the first thing is just to start doing it, right? Pull it up, Google search, Chat GPT, and you pull it up, and there's some free versions, and you just start typing things in from different perspectives. So that would be the first step, right?
Mhm.
And from there, to give you an example, I'll oftentimes, if I'm looking to create copy or manage something like a denial or a predetermination, I will go in and say, just for fun, I'm like, well, write this for me. And my mind is always blown when I get the response back in like 30 seconds. What sometimes practices are paying highly paid people to manage is now being done in a matter of seconds and more complete, thorough, um, and very and fun while we're at it.
Nice. Okay, so then give me some examples on what you utilize it for. What have you seen it work best for right now? And what are your like, we should have probably used it for that?
Sure. Well, I keep trying to get it to do everything for me, but it keeps reminding me that it's like I can't remember what it says. It says like we're a I don't know. It says it gives me some error, like they can't come up with that for me.
Mhm.
But I'm using it for and playing around with it with like website copy, right? Or marketing content copy. Or I just did, I said, there was an office that wanted to do a predetermination on number 13 with build up crown and indirect pulp cap. So I thought, let me see what ChatGPT is going to come up with for this. And I'm not kidding you, Michael. It came up with the most incredibly complete. It was like previous history of a patient is this, that, and the other and current experiences that I mean, it was just so on point that there's no possible way the insurance company could deny it, right? It just all of the information for why somebody would need those procedures is right in there. So now the dentist just puts their name on it, we send it off, right? And so we're having fun with that. Also managing denials. It's always fun to see, sometimes what ChatGPT is going to say about how we manage a denial. And you can also write from the perspective of a dentist or perspective of a consultant or perspective of someone, which is really cool. I'm also using it for my website. So actually, Chat Durable is another AI,
Mhm.
right? And they are building websites. You put in a few things, and before you know it, you have a full-on website that will just blow your mind with what it comes up with. As a matter of fact, I asked ChatGPT, I said, who is Michael Bonanno or something, Michael Bonanno in the dental industry or something like that. Man, I took what it said, it made me sound so good. And I forgot, dude. I was like, yeah, I have been on lots of, I've been in the newspapers and I've been on television, stations and things like that when COVID came out, right? And I just
Mhm.
forgot about all of that and it pulled from somewhere all of that together and made me look like the bright shining star that I am. So I was pretty excited about that.
Nice. Okay, I never thought about that. When it comes to perspectives on how to use it from a dentist, from a consultant, how do you see that beneficial when it comes to like, I mean, obviously not a dentist or practice owner, but what prompts would you recommend we use for like consultant or marketing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I haven't dove in too much into prompts. I have a bunch of things saved on my phone right now where, there's, I don't know, I'm going to make this up, like 100 or plus, probably thousands, probably you know better than I do how many different prompts and different programs exist right now um, to support this artificial intelligence, the workability of it. And I know there's images and you can design and do code and all kinds of things. I was sharing with one of my buddies. I said, let's spend a weekend at an Airbnb in the middle of nowhere and just start going down the list of all of those programs and seeing what they can do and how we could have it impact what we're doing. And I mean, it's even now posting pictures and stuff on Facebook and Instagram and all kinds of things for us. Um, so it's pretty amazing. I need more, a little bit more time because I do want to geek out on it. To be honest with you, I'm still just playing around with it and I'm still in discovery. Like, well, what is it going to say about that? That root canal that was needed, or that implant, and or why we took that X-ray. And now as we get more into medical billing, commercial medical billing for dentists, it's actually even more fun. So
Hmm. It's
yeah,
interesting.
but a
Yeah, yeah.
consultant, I would put everything in there, dude. I mean, like, ask, I treat it like it's like, I'll just be like, let me just see what it's going to say about this. What's it going to write about that? I've got friends and people that are in school, college, using it to write college papers, and the professors are not picking up on that it's computerized. And I mean, obviously they're going through and cleaning it up and making it of their language and type of thing, but for the most part, I'm really like floored by the way that it presents information and how quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing. What kind of marketing have you seen practice owners utilize it for?
Yeah, I'd say website content. You can also say, I'll say like, I'm Michael, I own a virtual support company for dentists. What are some reasons why a dentist would hire me? And it will spit out a whole bunch of things or reasons, or write me an article about the value of not missing phone calls in a dental practice, or I'm a consultant for dentists. Help me write a business plan for this. I mean, it will literally, as a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody recently who they're a consultant and they are putting together a program, and you can literally ask the AI to build you out a 6-week program on this, that, and the other, and it will give you an entire timeline with deliverables for how to achieve the outcome.
Mm,
It's pretty cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So we can do that with like marketing, right? Like kind of say like create me a 6 month marketing plan that
exactly.
$5,000 budget or that's it, right? And blah blah blah. This is my and then continue to add to it as soon as it right kind of like
Yeah,
be like, okay, now talk about Instagram, right? Or talk about this, right? Or I'm in New Hampshire. What about that, right? Kind of thing.
yeah. I don't know where it's happening, where the data is coming from, but it's pretty complete, comprehensive, and I actually played with it. We were talking with a friend of ours who's an attorney the other day, and we were talking about contract law in San Diego, where we live, California. And we said, have you heard of ChatGPT? He said, no, what is that? And he wants to focus on writing, right? All he wants to do is write contracts. And so we said, well, here, let's do this. So we pulled it up. We said, I'm an attorney in California. Oh, it was a contract for a parking space,
Mhm.
and it spit out, he was like floored by it. He said it did miss a couple of things, but I said, well, that's why the human being still exists. See, the human being exists to manage the integrity of the system, right? ChatGPT is still a system. So, there's going to still be a human element required, um, or at some point, maybe not. But yeah, he was floored by it as well. So I just invite anybody who's doing anything to get on there and start asking from different perspectives. If you're a consultant, you're a dentist, um, uh, you're a hygienist, you want to educate a patient on sleep apnea, or, versus waiting for script, it'll write you scripts. I said, write me a sales script for cold calls of virtual support for dentists or something. And it comes up with the whole thing.
Interesting. Okay. That's good. Yeah. What would you recommend? For example, let's just say a dentist is listening right now, practice owner, and then they're like, all right, we're going to sign up, we're going to get it, or I want my front office to mess with it a little bit more. What kind of prompts should they be putting into it?
Yeah, I would say it depends on what kind of outcomes they want to get, right? If they're having issues with billing, then there's going to be specifics to that. If they want to look at marketing, well, then they should, do some searching around and find out which of the prompts or which of the platforms are going to provide the outcomes they need for their marketing. And with all that there are, I'm not related to any specific ones. My exploration has been mostly with just Chat GPT general, question and answer fun. Um, but uh, but I know that it's doing all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. How do you utilize it for your business?
For my business, I haven't actually really elevated the use of it in my business. I'm still in the is this really, I'm a kind of an analysis paralysis guy. So, for example, like it takes me more time to think about something than, and then it takes like my spouse before I'm done thinking, it's already done, right? With my spouse. So, I'm still in the analysis stage of like, is this really working? Does this really work? Well, what if I put this in and what if I do that? So I'll circle back with you on that as I integrate more of it into my business. Um, I I haven't integrated much actually into my business. Maybe my marketing company is using it because as I think about some of the text and stuff that I'm getting back, I'm like, yeah, this could be, artificial intelligence because some of it I'm kind of like, it says something like virtual administrators can help update patient records, and I'm like, yeah, nobody's saying that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I get it, yeah, that's great, and I just wouldn't say that.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll do a follow up with me as I integrate more of it into the business.
Nice. So you definitely think for sure, practice owners should be utilizing this or at least messing around with it right now.
For sure. Oh, yeah. Because I mean, practice owners are very, very smart, right? Most of them that we work with are independent dentists. So they're practice owners and they're very smart people, much smarter than me. And so as they look at, as they toy around with it, they will find so many different ways that it can be beneficial. I wish I had more time. That's why I said, let's lock ourselves in a Airbnb for the weekend and really dive into because it's that philosophy of slowing down to speed up.
Mhm.
We know that it's powerful. We know that it's available. And so any time that we don't slow down to understand how to maximize it is to our detriment long term. It's like
Mhm.
compound interest, right? You got to get it in there. As soon as you get it in there, it builds and grows, right? But
Yeah.
you have to spend the time now and get it in. So I just submit doing something where we look at what are the outcomes in the practice where it's taking um, human resources, if you will, and how can we leverage the value of artificial intelligence like ChatGPT to either speed things up, automate things, um, get out in front of things so that we're not having to think from nothing the different marketing
Mhm.
messages or stories. For me, I'm very high creative, so every word matters. So it can take me sometimes months to do something where if like with Chat GPT, for example, it spits something out. I've got something that gives me something to latch onto where now I'm building from it as opposed to from scratch, which for me works really well because of how much time I sometimes spend just thinking about how am I going to start this.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Awesome, Michael. I appreciate your time. And if anyone has further questions, you can definitely find them on the Dental Marketer Society Facebook group, or where can they reach out to you directly?
Sure, they can, my cell phone, 602-388-0954, or email me at mb, like Michael Bonanno, mb at dentalvss.com.
Awesome. So that's going to be in the show notes below, guys. And Michael, thank you for being with me on this Monday morning marketing episode.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Enjoy the rest of a great day.